Check out All Things Transformers with Steve Megatron and TFG1 Mike. I can dig it.
You're listening to All Things Transformers, version 2.0.
Hello, and welcome to All Things Transformers version 2.0, episode 19. I'm your host, Steve Megatron Phillips, and joining me in this episode is...
TFG1 Mike, hello.
Hello. What be up, yo?
Not much. Watching a lot of TV. I have been watching and doing stuff with a certain DVD set that I can't talk about that's Transformers related. Podcasting as always, wanting stuff before it's out, which want now, we'll talk about it in a little while. What about you? What have you been up to?
A little bit of voice stuff, working on PredicateEmpire.com still, albeit a little bit slower, but it's coming along nicely now.
Slow and steady wins the race.
Yes, I'm getting more thrilled with how the look of it is, so I just have to physically plug content in soon. But it's a little bit more streamlined, a little less graphic heavy, but whatever. I'm fine with it. But yeah, and then just got done recording Future Imperfect with Mike Dodd from This Week in Geek.
Cool.
So
cool.
that was cool, talking Star Trek toys.
You almost said Transformers.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty much all that's going on with me too. I've just been just more news on Prime. Prime's coming up, and later this month, and everything else. I will turn another year older later this week, and not looking forward to that. So I'm an old man.
Get off my lawn.
So, are we just going to jump right into the news?
Yeah, because afterwards I have a special commercial break, and then another, actually the first in a long time of Ask Megatron. So, I think with that, I'll let you jump into the first news topic.
Fall of Cybertron, Brawl, Swindle, and Bruticus figures are revealed in Game Informer magazine. Game Informer magazine number 227 has revealed... 227. We should have that theme playing under this, but anyway, never mind, sorry. It's an old 80s show. Has revealed 3 new figures from the upcoming Fall of Cybertron / Generations toy line. The new figures are Brawl, Swindle, and Bruticus. In a surprise move by Hasbro, they will be releasing 5 deluxe molds that will be one of the bigger combiners that Hasbro has ever produced. Great news for fans of Transformers, as generally combiner toys have long been passed over by Hasbro. And wow, these images, even though they're just ripped from the magazine, these things are going to look amazing. Bruticus looks great. I'm not that much of a Brawl fan, but I do love both his robot mode and his tank alt mode. Swindle is where it's at, though, for me. I'm loving this Swindle figure. It looks freaking amazing. What about you?
I know that they look very good. I care nothing for the Combaticons, although I would prefer to have them over Devastator as separate Devastator, not as,
Right.
not as the Combiner, as the separate bots. They suck. I'd rather have the Combaticons separately, but they do look very cool, though. I think the only one I'm actually looking forward to, though, out of the line is Optimus Prime and Megatron if it ever shows up.
Yeah, I mean,
But I'm a Megatron whore, so that
yes,
doesn't really.
Sure. I mean, just in toy wise, I've always loved Swindle. Even though I think the animated version of him was a little short, it was still a great toy. The G1 toy obviously is great, and this one it looks spot on. I could see Fred Willard voicing this, putting a voice to this toy, and it's just so awesome. Let me see here. What else do we have?
Well, we can jump into, just really quick, the Transformers Japanese collection replacement discs from Shout Factory, because apparently there are subtitling errors in a few episodes on the set, which could have been solved if they got voice actors. They'll be sent automatically to those who have purchased from Shout Factory. No special requests need to be made. The entire message is from Shout Factory. So it's errors and manufacturer issues on 2 replacement discs.
Spade of the Bolt Matrix and I are working on a dual DVD review of this set for GeekCastRadio.com. We have yet to finish it because we were going through the entire series, and one thing he pointed out to me was that in some places in the original release of it, that the subtitles were off, or this was off and that was off. So it's nice to know that they're going to offer the replacement discs for those that purchased on shoutfactory.com for the Japanese collection. I appreciate what Shout did with the release. As far as the cartoons in general, this isn't a slight against Shout Factory at all. I love what they do. I just can't watch these cartoons because they're not in English.
See, I could deal with it being that they're Transformers.
I guess. I mean, it's nice to have, don't get me wrong, but I just can't. I can't sit there and read subtitles all the time.
I couldn't all the time, but I could do it.
Yeah. And kicking off the Prime news, this is one of the main reasons why we're doing this episode now, is because today and over the weekend and everything else, tons of Prime news has come out. Transformers Prime Season 2 episode title and description. Zap to It has updated with the title and description of the 28th episode of Transformers Prime overall. Obviously, it's no real surprise. Episode 2 for Season 2 will be Orion Pax Part 2. The description, spoilers, so if you don't want to hear this, fast forward about 5 seconds. Jack learns how to restore Optimus's memory.
Yay!
Yes, cannot wait. Season 2, I cannot freaking wait. Yeah, this show needs to come back now. Right now. I know it comes back on the 18th, which isn't so far away, which is actually not this Saturday, but the following Saturday, but yeah, still.
I'm definitely waiting for this.
Oh, yeah. It's gonna be awesome. You want to take the Klein Bloom news?
Sure. Steve Bloom and Jeff Klein talk about Transformers Prime and Rescue Bots.
Yes.
Transformers Prime and Rescue Bots executive producer Jeff Klein and a voice actor supreme, Steve Bloom, who plays Starscream and Heatwave in Rescue Bots, recently took part in a chat session with fans. This great and insightful chat session shed some light on a few cool elements of the series, including the answer to the question, are Transformers Prime and Transformers Rescue Bots in the same continuity? We can proudly reveal, direct from executive producer Jeff Kline himself, yes, these two great shows are indeed in the same continuity. The creative team felt it was important that both shows share the same continuity, so when you see Optimus Prime and Rescue Bots, it means he has briefly taken a leave of absence from Jasper, Nevada. Honestly, I think that's kind of fucking retarded, but that's just...
It's kind of weird. One of the reasons why it's weird to me is because of Transformers Prime is the full-on CGI, almost, movie-like. And I don't mean movie as in that Michael Bay bullshit. I mean cinematic as far as that goes. Whereas Rescue Bots is kiddie animation. I don't have anything against Rescue Bots. It's not my thing. But at the same time, I don't know. It's just kind of silly to me.
Yeah. I don't have a problem with it, but it looks like a badly animated Flash video. I mean, honestly, it does.
Yeah.
So, I could kind of give or take, but,
yeah,
obviously it's meant for kids, so I really don't care in the grand scheme of things.
Yes. Two other points that they brought up was, how do you top the Season 1 finale? Jeff Kline says it is a big challenge going forward, though they feel they can and will top it with Season 2. Jeff promises that they will deliver on some expectations while delivering and some surprises on others. No specific clues, though. The whole conversation was very spoiler-free. And another interesting one, will there be a Transformers Prime movie? Jeff Kline, it is a real possibility, but it depends on a lot of things going right. They did a showing of the Season 1 finale at a local theater, and people were very impressed with how the series looked on the big screen. And that was Season 1. Sounds like there is even more jaw-dropping CGI in store for Season 2. There is another bullet point in this about guest stars, but it's mainly them saying that, they have a certain list of actors that they want, and it just has to, it's the standard company response of, we have a list of people we want to get, and if we can get them to fit where they, where we think they can fit, that's all well and good. And Steve Bloom goes on to say about, he's really already working with two of the ones that he wanted to work with, which was Peter Cullen and Frank Welker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on the Jeff Kline, Steve Bloom thing?
I think it's kind of cool. I mean, I honestly hope that they do film an actual movie of it.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool.
I doubt it would get any kind of release in theater, but...
Well, a CGI movie might. I mean...
It may, but I really doubt it.
You never know.
I really doubt it.
2012, or, however, like if they went into production on something like that this year, and they made a, 2016 release date, hey... that's, let me just do some quick math here. That would be the 30th anniversary of TFTM, and if they got it theatrically, you never know. I mean, because Season 1, just from watching it, it looks so cinematic, it's so awesome. There isn't a single... There may be little things, nitpicky things here and there for me as far as Season 1 of Prime, but the animation overall is just beautiful. So, you never know. And the final bit of news that I wanted to bring up that I just actually found out about tonight and nearly fell out of my chair when I saw it is a while ago, I think it was last year we reported on this, that a Brian Tyler Transformers Prime soundtrack was coming. And then it got scrapped for some reason. I don't know why exactly. But it's coming again. Transformers Prime Season 1, a 25-track CD soundtrack. There's a pre-order page on Amazon for it. It's coming March 20th, 2012, and I cannot fucking wait. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I have to say I do like the soundtrack to the show.
The thing of it is, though, the music that Brian Tyler does, it's like obviously you hear the Transformers Prime theme, and this is really with any cartoon or any film. Sometimes you need to hear the soundtrack outside of all the voices and the sound effects and everything else to really appreciate the music. I definitely appreciate what Brian Tyler and I forget what the other guy's name is. They started crediting someone else as well along with Brian. Matthew something. I don't have the name in front of me. But I mean, the music that this series has is just jaw-droppingly awesome for me. And I can't wait to hear it by itself without the sound effects and everything else.
Yeah, definitely.
So cool. We got a voicemail.
Yes, but we'll get that after this real quick break.
All Things Transformers will be back after these messages.
Grab your helmets because it's time to assemble Mask. Coming April 10th, 2012, the Geekcast Radio Network launches Masked Mayhem with your hosts Optimus Solo and TFG1 Mike. This podcast, covering all 75 episodes of Mask, will feature in-depth analysis of every episode, talk on the toys, and more. Masked Mayhem will run 30 podcast episodes. You can find us in iTunes and on www.geekcastradio.com. Get your spectrums ready, as podcasting is the ultimate weapon.
Welcome to my throne room, Future Tales. The Beast Unleashed podcast is over, not gone. You can hear more of this great podcast, discussing all the episodes of Beast Wars and Beast Machines on GeekCastRadio.com. We include voice actor and writer interviews with stellar hosting by Steve, Mike, and Michael. Head on over to iTunes or the net, or else I will send you my vehicles to extract your spark and destroy you. Yes.
Soundwave, jam that transmission!
Rumble Frenzy, Ravage Rat-Bat, Eject, Operation Interference.
No, there will be no Operation Interference. I am TFG1 Mike, and you should be listening to my very first podcast, the TFG1 Podcast. 24 episodes covering the entire U.S. run of the 1984 Transformers cartoon. I also have a few supplemental episodes and an interview with Stan Bush. I bring in guest hosts who will be full-time co-hosts in Steve Megatron and fan of the show now co-host Pecan Court Michael. So check out the TFG1 Podcast. You can find it on iTunes and the web at www.geekcastradio.com. Transform and roll out!
You are listening to All Things Transformers. Maximals, maximize!
Well, hello there, All Things Transformers. It is I, the great and mighty Starscream, leaving a message for the Ask Megatron segment. My question is, oh dear and powerful Megatron, how did you feel about being portrayed as a biatch in the final 3 episodes of Transformers Prime Season 1? Personally, I found it to be one of the most hilarious things I've ever seen in my life. Well, thanks for taking my question, and until next time, this is Starscream saying, watch out, 'cause I'm listening.
Was that a Banshee? I don't know what the hell that was, because it sure as hell didn't sound like Starscream. And Starscream, why are you asking Beast Wars Megatron a question about Transformers Prime Megatron? That makes no sense whatsoever, dude. Sorry about your luck. I do know from an inside source that the producers were going for, at the end of that episode, that 3-parter, One Shall Rise, that they were going for Megatron actually does join their team. He is loyal to his word. He said, I will take you through this mission, but after that, it's business as usual. He does not betray the Autobots up until the very end, after Unicron has dissipated. And then he says, okay, that's it. It's over. So as far as what your question was, my thinking is, when Megatron was being, yes, Unicron, my master, and blah, 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 he was putting on an act for Unicron. Because it's not like Megatron in Revenge of the Fallen, who basically just bowed before the Fallen and was turned into a bitch like Starscream is. I don't know. Megatron, any thoughts on that voicemail?
Well, it unfortunately was not directed at me. As you can tell, I am not Transformers Prime Megatron. No. You unguided miscreant, pterodactyl, or should I say Terrorsaur? As your voice sounded, I know Starscream. You are no Starscream. You are Terrorsaur. Yes. So do yourself a favor. Terrorize back to the pit. Yes. As for Transformers Prime Megatron, us Megatrons always have, how shall I say it, an ulterior motive. Yes. One does not simply become a bitch to the process like my predecessor. No, only because he had no choice. Transformers Prime Megatron and myself always joined in order to accomplish the greater evil so that the Megatrons may triumph. Fool.
Thank you, Megatron. Since we're talking about it, we might as well have a little discussion on Transformers Prime. I absolutely love the series. As I've gotten older, I've learned to appreciate stuff. Whereas when I was 16, 17, 18, 19, my early 20s, I was still that G1 fanboy of, G1, G-E-E-W-U-N, G1 or nothing. But over the last 5, 6, 7 years, I've been very open-minded. I've said on this podcast, I've said on other podcasts that when I was 16, 17 years old and Beast Wars was on, I didn't know what the hell it was because I thought Reboot was the new Beast Wars. I did.
Nice.
Anyway, but the thing of it is there are going to be differences in new cartoons. Look at Animated. Animated took not really liberties, but they made their own story. Transformers Prime is making its own story, so maybe us that grew up with the original Transformers and Beast Wars and all that, maybe we, as we get older, maybe we have children, and this Transformers Prime show is their Generation 1. It's one of those things where I'm sure that they're trying their best to homage the G1 cartoon as much as they can. Little nods here and there, stuff like that. Sure, there's going to be, different character developments, and there's going to be a different storyline. I'm actually thrilled with how they're treating Unicron in this series. It's so interesting that Unicron is the center of the Earth. I mean, that's kind of fucking cool, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I prefer this over the me giant eating planet. I transformed into a giant robot. I get blown away by Matrix.
Well,
wait, he gets blown away by the Matrix every time, so I guess that doesn't really count.
Yeah. I just think Transformers Prime is where it's at right now. I don't think the series is going anywhere. Especially with it being on the hub and having full backing from Hasbro. And look at all the toys that they've come out with. That they're going to come... they had all that first edition stuff, which sadly got canceled. They're doing now the Transformers Prime Robots in Disguise US toy line coming up. all this stuff, and it's just great. I'm just loving anything to do with Transformers Prime right now. I don't see how anyone can legitimately knock the series. And if there's a Transformers fan out there that has a legitimate argument as to why they think Transformers Prime is a bad series, bring it on. Because I have no complaints. And this isn't me, having those, rose-colored glasses on for G1 or anything. I'm open to anything, any story that they do. I've said this before on the show. I thought when I saw that Season 2 NYCC promo that they were etching a Decepticon symbol on Optimus, I thought he was going to turn into Nemesis Prime in Season 2. I don't think that's going to happen, but I don't know. Anything else you want to say on it?
No, I think you pretty much covered it, honestly.
Yeah, I have a knack for doing that. Is there anything else we need to discuss? I know this is probably going to be a short episode.
Oh yeah, this is going to be very short. And no offense to the voicemail. That's how Megatron answers things. So you got to take it with a grain of salt. So, or a lump of coal, whichever you prefer,
or a dinosaur tail,
or dinosaur shit. But anyways, yeah. So I mean, that was one of the primary reasons. That and the news, as far as Transformers is concerned, this is pretty much just a precursor, just to kind of get back into it a little bit, with regular releases before Transformers Prime comes out. I'm sure that at one point, it comes back. What, the 18th?
18th of February. 2 weeks. Yeah.
So. It's about a week and a half, but I mean, we may have another one, but I'm seriously doubting it till the next Transformers Prime episode debuts.
Yeah.
So expect another one then, but I'm pretty sure this will be it until then.
Yeah. Seeing those Fall of Cybertron toys, seeing that Transformers Prime Season 1 soundtrack, it's we've said before, in 2012 we are expanding. We're not doing a Transformers review show this year, and we're expanding into other fandoms. But I find myself being pulled back into Transformers. Well, then again, Matty Scalper shat all over me, so that left a bad taste in my mouth. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I'm really excited to see what comes out of BotCon this year. I'm really excited to see what else Hasbro has in store.
Yeah, I'm personally excited to see what Hasbro does. I'm excited for the Fall of Cybertron game and figures and details around that. I'm excited for Transformers Prime Season 2. I'm excited for the DVD and Blu-ray of Transformers Prime, which will be coming soon. So I mean, it's there's a lot going on in the franchise at this point.
Oh yeah.
So I'm definitely geeked. That's no lie there. I'm definitely geeked to see what goes on. Definitely have to keep track of everything Transformers at this point. So that's why All Things Transformers will be the premier location of All Things Transformers, as the show is called. The Geekcast Radio Network, until either TF Prime goes away or TF Prime gets enough seasons under its belt before we do a review show. But it'll be a couple years, like we stated, in TAP. So this will definitely be the only place for Transformers related topics until then.
And I'll probably do, a couple of toy casts on different Transformers toys lines and stuff like that. So, I mean, but yeah. It's going to be one hell of a year this year. And this isn't even a movie year, and they've got awesome stuff coming out. So, Hasbro has really kicked it up a notch this year, I think.
Yeah, and I definitely think that will that will help them a lot. And definitely, this is probably one of their franchises that's actually keeping the place going.
Yep.
But yeah,
seeing as how G.I. Joe needs a movie to get rebooted.
pretty much. Although I am quite excited for the second film that is coming out of that. It doesn't have me as pissed off as before, other than the fact they killed damn near everybody from the first film. I do like Cobra Commander in this one, though.
Yes.
They have the silver plate. That is good.
Yes, yes it is.
Yes. So, in any case, when Predacon Empire does go live again, fully, I'm going to have all Transformers podcasts syndicated there, as well as like the interviews and all that kind of stuff. There will be Transformers content. There will be no episodes for download there.
No.
The forums are still functional for those that care. For those that don't, there will be a commenting system on some of the posts themselves, not the pages. So, but yeah, it definitely will cover. If you're looking only for Transformers and for whatever reason, which I couldn't see why not, wouldn't want to check out other geek topics, that will be your Transformers resource.
Yes.
Without the bloating.
Okay.
Yeah, of some larger site that I'm not mentioning.
Yes.
So.
WTF. Anyway.
Yes.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yes, and that stands for garbage. What the fuck? Anyways, before this goes into a major train wreck,
it already has.
Very true. Very true. This is the shortest of a ATTF probably since it's been rebooted.
Yeah.
But it's not at 6 a.m., so it is coherent for the most part. Anyways, if you'd like to leave feedback on the show, there are many ways to do so. First, you can visit the website, geekcastradio.com, where you can comment on the episode and all of our different podcasts. Second, you can rate our show on iTunes. Be sure to leave us feedback. Call the voicemail line, 502-526-5821. Please remember to tell us the show you're leaving the message for and your name. Become a fan of us on Facebook by searching Geekcast Radio Network. You can follow us on Twitter at Predacon Empire, or you can ask Megatron at BW_Megatron. My Twitter name is at SCP21, and
TFJ and Mike.
Join us next time when we discuss Transformers Prime Season 2, and probably some more Transformers news that we feel is actually important, unlike the movie. So for now, I'm Steve Megatron Phillips with
TFJ and Mike.
Singing the immortal words of Megatron.
Get off my lawn, you damn dirty ape.
Thanks for listening. Until next time.
Trainwreck.
Goddamn dirty ape. Flinging his poo on my porch.
Yes. Megatron, today you answer for your crimes against Cybertron and against humanity. One shall stand, and one shall fall. You, Optimus Prime!